Okay, so hello everyone. Today I would like to share with you an interesting concept. But before we go into the concept, I would like to share with you an idiom I'm sure you have heard of. You believe what you see. That is, we believe what we see in our eyes. But is that really true? Now let's look at this picture. I want you to focus on the square A on top and the square B in the middle. Now, which one is darker? Well, of course it's picture A. It was so obvious. But look again, is that really true? Now, look at this gray line I draw between A and B. You can see that A and B are actually of the same color. Now let's look back. But why do we see A darker than B? Because in our mind, we believe that this square tile is actually composing of smaller tiles of black and white. So we think A is the color black and B is white. Therefore, we believe black is darker than white. But actually, in our eyes, what we see is the same color. Why do we have this illusion? Now let's look at another example. Have you ever seen Friends? Now this is a photo from their first season, 1994. I want you to pay attention to their hairstyles and to their dresses, how they dress. And now, let's jump 10 years ahead. This is the last episode of Friends. Did you see how their outfit, and especially hairstyles, have changed? Now, what is different between this and this? Well, this is what we see now in our world, and this is what we call out of date. But why do we see this as out of date? Because we believe in the new ones. We believe in the new styles and the new way of dressing yourselves, and this is how we look now. This is also the same case with iPhones. Now, if you haven't heard of Friends, I'm sure you definitely have used one of these iPhones. Let's look at iPhone 5, the newest model of iPhone, and iPhone 3. Did you notice the differences between iPhone 3 and iPhone 5 of their designs? Well, there's not much difference. The only difference is the metallic circle around iPhone 3. But that is also why when we see iPhone 3 we think that it's out of date, because it doesn't look like iPhone 5, which we believe is new, it's better. See, if Apple is launching an iPhone 6 today, let's say, and iPhone 6 happened to have the metallic design like iPhone 3, what will happen? Well, you will probably think that, well, that looks like something old, I don't want that. But is that true? What if Apple put millions and billions of dollars in their campaign and in their advertisements, and what we see every day was the iPhone 6 with a metallic design? Will you still think that is old? Or you will see that as the new? Now, this point I would like to illustrate is also the same case with women's heels. Now, when women are choosing between thin heels or thick heels, They're not concerned about the new scientific research on how these heels affect of our human body. No. They purchase different kinds of heels because what they see on the fashion magazine is actually making us believe that what we see is fashion and the other is not. Well, but the other, in the next year, this will be the fashion and this will be out. And every year they change. Now, the concept today I would like to mention to you guys is actually the reverse of the idiom I just mentioned. You see what you believe. That is, we only see things from ourselves. We only see things through the lens of our past experience. And past experience and beliefs that will affect on our perception on things. Remember the black and white tiles, and remember the black and white tiles, and remember the iPhones. The idea I was trying to tell you today is actually the reverse of the idiom we just mentioned. You see what you believe. That is, we only perceive things through the lens of our past experience and belief, and therefore, what we see is not actually accurate. It's something we already have in our mind. Now you may say, what does this have to do with me? Well, it has a lot to do with you, because what we believe in the society is actually affect on how we see ourselves. Look at these photos. These are the covers of Vogue, which is one of the most iconic fashion magazines in the world. This man and this woman represents the aesthetic value, the aesthetic standards of the society giving us. Now, these are not real. This is a product of makeup and largely by Photoshop. They don't even look like that in the real world. Nobody looks like that in the real world. However, because we believe in that, we start to compare ourselves with these unrealistic figures. And we started to think that we are inferior or we are not as good as them. And we start to want to be like them. And we're not happy about ourselves. And why? Because the society told us what to think and what to believe of ourselves. Okay, let's go back to this formula. Now that we know what we see, it's actually coming from something that we believe. And our beliefs comes from what the society told us or what the mass media is trying to sell to us. Can we actually break this belief to see different things of ourselves? Well, I believe we can. And by stop believing in the commercial value of beauty, that's how we can actually see the good things of ourselves. I'm ready for that. And how about you? Okay, thank you all for listening, and this is my presentation today. Thank you.